welcome again to my channel, spiceislecafe.com, and today we're making Grenadian coconut tarts. Okay, so if you have seen my videos before, you've seen that I have made a couple of pastries that reminds me of home, and since we are all home these days because of what's happening out in the world there, it's pretty fun to do baking at your home. Okay, so we're gonna start with a dough. I'm gonna make a pastry dough. It's pretty simple. I am using 2 cups of flour. I'm just gonna dump them in right now. It's all-purpose flour, that's all I'm using. 2 cups of that. I'm gonna put a pinch of salt. Just gonna put a pinch, and I'm just eyeballing this because I've done it before. So a pinch of salt, or just a little bit, yeah. And I'm gonna just mix that up. Just gonna take a spoon and kind of like mix this in. And I have here, I mixed butter and shortening, very cold butter and shortening in there. So altogether about 6 tablespoons. So I'm just dumping it all in there. And I got, this isn't the first time I'm actually using a pastry cutter. I've never used a pastry cutter before. So here we go. I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm actually just gonna cut the butter in the flour. We still want it in the chunks, so I'm just gonna cut the butter in here. If you are joining in for the first time, welcome to Spice Isle Cafe. We're making Grenadian coconut tarts. And the dough is pretty simple. So I am just cutting in my butter in my flour, and then I'm gonna put cold water and just mix that in, okay? Now, if you do not, for some reason, you don't want to put this in the refrigerator and have it cold, you can mix it, put your butter at room temperature, and knead your flour as normal, okay? That's okay.
Andrea and Tamika saying hi.
Hi, Andrea and Tamika. Thank you all for joining. I am using my fancy pastry cutter here. And I think this is about it. I have used my hands for the most part, but today I'm using the pastry cutter. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put this away and go back to the old school using my hands. I am gonna use some butter, some cold water with these cold butter and flour here, and once it starts coming together, I could have done this in a food processor. You can do it. I'm just showing you different methods because everyone don't have food processors and mixers and all of that. So I'm just gonna do my hands right now. I cut up the pastry with my pastry cutter for the first time, and now I am just putting the dough together here. And then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator while we work on the coconut filling for that. So I'm just mixing this all together. Very cold butter and I don't want to over mix, so I'm just kind of using my fingers in here. And once it comes together, I am going to put it and wrap it up in a plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator. Yep.
So I have a question as usual. You know the question.
It starts early, huh?
Yeah. How long this can take?
So this, I have to say, coconut tarts shouldn't take long at all. Maybe half an hour from start to finish. Once you knead your dough, you put it to rest or you put it in the refrigerator, and you start on your coconut filling. And because the coconut filling is already cooked, when you put everything together, it's just less than 10 minutes in the oven and you're done. So I'm gonna put this, I only took what, 4 or 5 minutes. Now I'm gonna wrap this, put it in the refrigerator. I'm gonna wash my hands and then get to the coconut filling.
So what kind of coconut tart this is? Because we know there's the coconut tart, aka Antiguan coconut tart, and there are other coconut tart-ish dishes.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, as my vlog states, I am doing Grenadian coconut tart. I know Antiguans have a different version of coconut tart. It seems like coconut buns and tart came together and make a baby. But Grenadians, we keep things simple.
You say
with a touch
version.
of elegance.
You say version. There's only one coconut tart, you know, but I will allow it.
Oh my goodness. So, okay guys, I'm just putting this dough that I made in the refrigerator. Now, if you do not want to put this in the refrigerator, you can also knead it by hand and put it to rest, covered with like a towel or something. All right, I'm just gonna clear my area right here.
So Katie Bright is saying hello, and then V
Hi, Karen. Katie Bright.
V just asked, what if your man is hungry? Can you make it faster? Which I think is a very valid question.
No, the thing with baking, it's almost an exact science. So I find with Caribbean style baking, it's a lot of free form kind of a thing, and we just go with the flow. But a lot of experts would tell you when it comes to baking, you can't rush the process. You gotta wait so that everything comes together.
So Tamika Stanley's saying that she always thought that the dough had sugar in it, but then she's never made this, so.
No. So if you stick with me until the end, you would see the sugar, apart from the filling, goes on top of the dough. Instead of doing an egg wash, I'll do like a sugar and water kind of a paste to go on top of that. That is how we do it actually, and how my mom used to do it at home. So, all right, now we are going to go to the coconut filling. So in a medium pot, I grated 1 coconut, and I am going to let me put that away, and then I am going to put a cup of sugar, and this time I'm using brown sugar. So I am not going to do like a coloring afterwards. I'm putting about a quarter. I think I need another, about a half cup of water in there. If I need more, I will add it. And all the beautiful fixings. So I have bay leaves, a little bit of ginger, and that's optional, and some cinnamon sticks. So I'm going to put all that in there. Crank up the heat. I'll take my palette, give this thing a stir, and just let it boil. And then you can shoot me all the questions you have, because this is going to go by very quickly today, y'all.
So Andrea is saying that according to your apron, some dude named Neil needs to pour you a glass of wine once this is done.
So shout out to my friend Connie. Cornelia Williams, she gave me this apron, and I'm like, hey, why not wear it today?
Katie Bright is asking if it would be the colored coconut filling or the brown filling. So
I'm doing the brown filling today. That's why I'm using brown sugar instead of white sugar, and I'm using no coloring. So that is what I am actually using, and you can feel free to do so.
And V, hinging on that, he's like, brown sugar, what's his nickname in high school?
Oh my goodness, that has a whole different meaning now. Okay, so I crank up the heat. It's between medium to high, so I would say medium high. Right now, once it starts boiling and all of that, I will tone it down because I don't want it to burn. and I will just wait for that to do its thing, and then I am just gonna make that sugar water filling and have my pin out when the time, comes to roll out the dough.
Connie says you're welcome, hon.
Oh,
She
hi,
loves it.
Connie. Thanks for joining. So big up to all my folks back home in Grenada who's looking at this right now. People from Canada, those of you in California, New York, here in Texas, Pflugerville, Houston, Dallas. Welcome, welcome.
I find it interesting you didn't even say Antigua. What is Antigua?
Antigua, listen, the entire Caribbean. If you are looking, welcome, welcome to Spice Eye Cafe. We're making Grenadian coconut tarts, and I hope that you will try this recipe. So I'm just putting out all what I would need after the filling is done, and then I can just go. So in the meantime, if you have questions, you can shoot the questions up. I'll preheat the oven as well. Okay, Google, preheat oven to 350 degrees.
Back in Antigua, we normally, when we're cooking.
Okay, setting the oven to 350 degrees.
Yes, back in Antigua, when we're cooking, we always have all our stuff out already.
Obviously, I had to have one set of things out, change, and now have the new things. Nina's just giving me a hard time.
I didn't even see when you took those excuses out
Oh, that's
Apparently
because B's on here. That's what's happening.
the pantry. So there's Carrie Sargent saying hi, Carol.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you for joining.
Pooh Bear is asking if I have on my colorful apron.
He does. He does.
Always, every time, you can depend on that.
I think I need to add some water again, so I would say very close to a cup of water, maybe 3/4 of a cup. Gonna stir again, and I'll taste if I find it sweet enough. Yes, if not, then I'll add more. Okay. So yes, let this baby boil. Any questions? Just I'll be happy to answer them.
I think we just got what you said because he's there is why I'm giving you the talk.
Yeah.
So he was letting you know, don't bring him into your argument.
Oh my goodness gracious. So while my coconut filling is doing its thing right there, I'm just gonna continue cleaning up, and if you have questions, you can just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them.
Well, my usual next question is what's next?
So I think I have had a few requests for sausage roll, as we call it, or pig in a blanket, if you will. So I think that would be the next thing.
Yeah. As we call it, which is the only way to call it in Antigua, sausage roll. That's a good one.
Yeah, so I think that will be the next thing. So sometime next week, so just look out for the announcement, and that's what I'm planning, at least in my head. Let's see if I stick to that particular plan. But normally I'm someone of my word, so I will stick to it.
So Esther Edwards has her jealousy showing. She says Neil always claiming,
What's new? What's new? Thank you for joining, Esther.
Tamika, compromised, is always agreeing with her.
Thank you, Tamika, for joining in.
And Terrence just stepped in the house.
Hi, Terrence. I'm hearing this warming up. Patience now, honey.
I'm hungry.
He is hungry for coconut tarts.
I'm just saying a man should have his dinner 6 p.m. on the dot.
So apparently his dinner is coconut tarts.
Better not be. So the Carrie Sargent, they were asking, what about cheese straws?
Well, yeah, another time I'll do cheese straws because what I find up here, you know, unlike home, we have our anchor cheese and we have, you know, a certain type of butter and all of that. I can't find it here, so I'm gonna test with different types of cheese and I've made it before with cheddar cheese and it came out pretty well for me, but I'm using a different oven right now, so I would see. So it would be after sausage roll for sure, but I'll let you know. All right, let's see how it's going. It's bubbling, y'all. It's bubbling. Woo-hoo! I mean, if you get the aroma in here, my goodness, my goodness. So the consistency in which you're looking for is something that's close to sugar cake, and I think almost all Caribbean islands have some type of candy, sugar cake or otherwise. So when it's coming close to that consistency is when you need to watch it, you know. All right, let's see how it's going. I'm gonna give it another stir. And I use light brown sugar. You can use dark brown sugar, but brown sugar is what you need for this. Or maybe I shouldn't say what you need. If you prefer that, you can do that. If you want to use white sugar and add some coloring, you can do that as well and put whatever filling you like in the tart. So soon I will take out the bay leaves and cinnamon stick. If you do not have cinnamon stick and bay leaves and, you know, ginger, you can, those sticks, you can use the powder version. And if you don't like none of that in there, you just leave it up. So I'm just gonna get some extra flour and put that out here because soon this will be done.
Soon is not quick enough, you know. You can't be disappearing completely off screen when you have people that are depending on you.
Yes, I had to, you know, get a little bit of flour so I can dust and roll out my dough sooner rather than later, as soon as
like I
this
said
is
before,
ready.
if it was me, I would have had my stuff and so out already, you know? So, but you like to wait until the appointed time. I don't know.
Anyone knows me know I try my best to be prepared. But my husband is trying to call me out here, y'all.
No, this is why you need oversight from me, you know? That's what they call me, oversight. You don't worry about what's happening in my hand.
You are taking over my...
You don't worry about that.
Any one of you want him for like, I don't know, a weekend, I'll send him over.
I am not to be objectified, which happens a lot, you know.
Oh my goodness. All right, so...
So we have a question. V is asking, when is the next time you're going to make a nice savory dish like that goat or whatever it is that you made?
I am not sure. So it just depends. I go with the flow. Right now I don't have this pattern of every Friday or every Monday or anything. It just, I go with the flow. I have certain ingredients in, and especially nowadays, because sometimes when I order groceries is what's available. So I don't want to say I'm going to do something on a certain day and don't get the ingredients to make that particular savory dish. So you will get a savory dish soon, but I cannot tell you it's this upcoming week for sure. I know what I want to make this upcoming week is sausage roll. So I'll let you know.
As usual, Esther is being a hater, saying that she thinks I like to hear the sound of my own voice. Very disrespectful.
Now I'm taking out the cinnamon stick. So just before this is done, you can remove these. So I'm taking out the cinnamon stick and the bay leaves. And then I'm just gonna turn down the heat to medium. And we should be good to go. So look, we're 20 minutes in, and so I would say this boils, 20 minutes in total. So this boiled for about, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes for the most. And I need the flour about 5 minutes. So we're making pretty good time.
So I think in response to your answer to V, he's a little crushed because he asked not to break his heart, please.
V, I am not gonna break your heart, man. That's our friend from California. Shout out to V. All right, listen. You see how this is? Look at this consistency here. So it's not sticking together to the point. You don't want any water. You want the fire to drain out all the water. So I'm just gonna leave it there, turn off the stove, and then put it in a dish to cool. All right, you all are quiet. Everybody's paying attention. I guess Carol is a good teacher.
I suppose in response to Esther Hayden, he did say, well, a man should be heard, right?
Oh my goodness. You guys. All right, so I'm not seeing any water right now. I'm going to just pour this out into my bowl here, but I'm going to do it over the sink so that, you know what? Let me not do it over the sink because I don't want anything to fall in. All right, so here I am. I'm going to just pour everything in. Yes. Oh. Look at that gorgeousness. Okay? So that's what you want. You can just pick it up with a spoon and eat it right away. But don't. Don't. Just give it a few minutes. Let it do its thing. You know what I'm saying? And you should be fine. Yes. So, looks good. I am going to, let me put this over here. My oven is ready, so I'm going to take out my dough. I have my baking sheet with my parchment paper lining here, so I am just going to put that aside. And I am going to take my dough out and get to rolling.
So Pooh Bear is saying he wish he could smell the cinnamon and brown sugar.
Yes, it is good, man. It's good. So I'm just going to dust this loveliness here. And I have some extra tools today, if you guys can see. And you want to roll this whole thing out like bake. So I have these tools I'm going to cut. When I roll everything out, I'm going to cut it with my little, foam pastry thing. I don't even know how you call this really. But I have a spatula and my brush.
In Antigua, we don't need all these tools, we just skill like that.
So he says, in Antigua, you all don't use all these tools.
Oh, man.
Well, I didn't have them before. So yeah, I'm just gonna, yes, the dough is together. I'm just gonna dust my rolling pin. Listen, this rolling pin has been with me, right, for as long as Neil and I have been married. I have to, this rolling pin needs a medal by itself. All right, so I'm just, rolling this dough out. you can still see the butter in between. I like that. Now, you don't have to have that kind of a dough, but as I said, I prefer that kind of a.
So we have a question by Pooh Bear. He is asking if you ever make your dough the night before. And I suppose if so, on when would you know to do that?
Yeah, you can make your dough the night before, certainly. I just, because I knew I wanted to show you all and I didn't have extra butter, I decided to do it, the same time. But definitely, you can make your dough the night before. And if you do not want to have your dough cold, you can make it the day off, and just use room temperature, everything. But I just find with cold dough, everything is much more flakier and just beautiful.
So as usual, one of your compromised friends, Ari, just chimed in and said she agrees with Esther. She thinks Niels likes the sound of his own voice. But I mean, like, who doesn't like the sound of my voice?
So we have some haters in the midst.
Mm-hmm.
So I roll this out and I'm gonna use my cutter right here. So this is gonna be like used for two purposes. I am gonna cut it out here and then I'm gonna put it back in and fill it up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, because this is cold, I have to try and work quickly and see how much I can get out of this. You can continue asking your question if you'd like. All right, I think it is coming together, y'all. It's coming together.
Moving a little slow there. What's up with that?
You're hating. Do you want
I don't hate. I just
you don't hate, you appreciate?
I'm a factician.
Okay. So I am putting the dough back in here now, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of my filling. Oh, gorgeousness. And clamp it down. Woo! It's still pretty fresh. Look at this beauty. But I'm still going to use a fork. As much as I have this, I'm still going to use a fork just because everything is still warm. I'm going to use a fork and make sure it's really down. And yes, because I don't want all of the stuff to ooze out. So here we go. See, this is what I have. Yeah, so I'm just gonna continue working this in so I can put it in the oven and have it baked off pretty nicely. All right, in the meantime, feel free. I have to work fast because I do not want this to go too warm on me, and then yeah. So I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna use my fork shortly. Yeah, so this is pretty simple, y'all. We don't have a lot of fuss as Grenadians. Oh, my island brothers and sisters. You know, it's one love in Spice Isle Cafe's kitchen. You know what I mean? Nice loveliness. Just not a lot at all. You just put a little bit in there. I mean, I like a lot in it, but just clamp this down. Boom. It's still warm, you know, so up.
So we have an incoming question from Ari. She wants to know what's the name of that cutter thing. She needs to buy it.
Oh, I just look up pastry cutter or
But they have so many of them.
Yeah, but I do not know that. I have had this since literally for as long as we've been married. I don't remember the exact name, but just look up yeah, pastry form cutter or something.
You know, as an Antiguan, you know, meaning that I know a whole lot. I think what you're probably gonna want, I think they call them dumpling makers, you know. So
Why do we need dumpling makers?
no, that's what they call them, I think.
Not for these.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Well,
Yeah, I'm an Antiguan, I know what I'm talking about.
all right, if you say so, sir.
Mhm.
All right, I'm just trying to scoot ahead here. We're almost done, y'all.
Hey, take your time and make sure my things are done properly, you know.
Your things? I don't know if you're getting any of these. If you are on good behavior, yes. If you're not, then
And just say I am not a shortcut person.
all right, y'all. So I'm just gonna. I don't want my counter to get too warm. Boom, boom. Yes. I mean, if you only can smell this goodness right now, I'm telling you, you'd love me forever. All right. I'm almost done. 2 more to go after this one. And then to brush on the filling. Look at this clamp. It has a little juice just because, as I said, it's still warm on me here.
So did you taste the grated coconut to know, you know, if it's actually gonna taste good early up?
No, I should have, but I didn't because I've done this before to know what works. And brown sugar, it just helps with that whole caramelization and everything.
This is
so
unacceptable.
So you want to come and be the taste tester guy? Okay, so Neil is gonna be the taste
Yeah, oh, you get my hands
tester
dirty
guy.
and I'm running tech.
You came.
Alright, almost at my level.
Almost on his
Yeah,
level. Could
yeah.
you believe this, y'all?
But with
This
each
is what I
session
have
you
to
get
deal with.
closer.
This is what I have to deal with here. All right, so I am just going to put this dough back in a plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator because it's too warm for me to really work with right now. And so I'm just gonna put this aside and just let you see here. So I'm gonna use my fork to still, as much as I've used the clamp, I'm still gonna use my fork just to make sure that it's sealed even tighter. And then I'm gonna brush my sugar water on and let this thing bake for, it's gonna be less than 10 minutes, really. Now on the blog, you will see that I have 20 minutes. That's because if you're making a size double this, definitely you need to put 20 minutes. But if you're doing, you know, what I am doing right here, this size, you know, 10 minutes or less is what you need. I mean, it's already clamped, you know. I like to be extra careful. Okay, so I just put water and same brown sugar, and all I'm gonna do is brush this on top. And then put it in the oven, y'all. And then we are going to be having coconut tarts the Grenadian way.
I'm allowing that.
Now, as you can see, I did not use rising agent, so this should not puff up really. So you don't need to poke the holes per se.
So Carrie Sargent is saying, OMG, that looking good already. Why aren't you in Florida? OMG, I'm having cravings.
Oh, Carrie. Now that the recipe is up, you can definitely try it. So
we have a question from Connie. She is asking if Spice Isle Cafe does shipping as yet.
no, I don't do shipping as yet.
Well, right now, because of the current ongoing situation, in alignment with Texas law,
Oh my goodness.
we do takeout only. So you gotta come to
Exactly, take out only. So now I'm just gonna put this in the oven less than 10 minutes, maybe 6 minutes, 5-6 minutes, and you know, it should be ready. Let's see. Yes, so I'm gonna put the rest of this in here. I'm gonna clean up a little later. Yes. Put back the rest of this. Maybe later on I'll put the rest. So Neil was giving me talk of not trying this, so let me try it. Oh, it tastes like sugar cake, y'all. Woo! The back of the spoon and everything. Woo, woo.
So while we're waiting on it to finish, I mean, if it was me, I could do it. Well, what do you think? You could just do sugar cake in the meanwhile?
No, I can't. Are you gonna grate another coconut?
Where yes, you can house. I don't know where this
No, you can't.
come from. We don't use that word.
No.
It's only yes.
No.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
time we'll do sugar cake. 'Cause this is too sacred. It needs its own time to do its thing. Oh, I should just cover this.
I must admit, your excuses are evolving.
Neil says I'm making excuses, y'all.
No, I said they're evolving.
Alright, so I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator.
Waiting on this. For those people that aren't familiar with it, could you describe cheese straws, the upcoming dish for next time?
That's not the upcoming dish for next time.
I was testing you.
Sausage rolls.
Sausage rolls,
I
yes.
said I would make for the next time.
So you passed that test.
So really, it's just pastry again. You make a pastry dough, and then you use whatever type of sausage you'd like. For me, I think because some people have allergies around here, so I would have to do something like beef sausage, maybe.
That's the only kind of sausage that matters.
And use that. It's going to be kind of like pig in a blanket, really.
They don't know what pig in a blanket
They
is.
do. That's what everyone up here calls it. Pig in a blanket.
Well, we don't call it that in Antigua.
So it's sausage roll or pig in a blanket. That's going to be the next thing. And it's really a pastry dough that you make, and you make it out in rolls with whatever sausage you choose.
So, Gary Clark V, he just said, you get your wine when the man gets his food.
Oh man, well, I guess I'm not getting wine because the man's not getting food. He's gonna get pastries. That's it.
We're gonna see about that. That's what.
All right, y'all. So feel free ask any questions.
So, how different would it be? I know because I do this all the time. But how different would it be for you to add the colored coconuts? So these pastries get the different colors when you open them.
No, my thing is if you want the different filling or different color filling, instead of using brown sugar, you use white sugar. And then you can, it's easy.